My girlfriend said, "I'm going on a girls' trip. Don't text me for a week. I need to feel single." I replied, "You got it." Then I packed her bags, changed the locks on my house, and left her stuff at her parents'. When she came home at 3 a.m. to find her key didn't work and a note saying, "You're single now." I, 42M, have been dating Qley, 26F, for just under a year. I know, the age gap. You don't have to tell me. I'm a successful guy. I own a commercial HVAC company. I have a paid-off house on 3 acres, a boat, and 0 debt. I've worked hard to build a life of peace and stability. Qley was a receptionist at a client's dental practice when we met. She was bubbly, energetic, and seemed to have that old-school appreciation for a man who takes charge. For the first 6 months, it was great. She was attentive, sweet, and seemed to hate the modern dating scene as much as I did. But then, the influencer bug bit her. She started hanging out with 2 college friends, Tiffany and Jess, who are single, 28 going on 18, and absolutely toxic. You know the type. Their entire personality is brunch, complaining about low-value men, and posting thirst traps while claiming they want a traditional relationship. Qley started changing. She was on her phone constantly. She started using phrases like hot girl summer and roster. I shut that down quickly. "I don't date women with rosters," I told her. "If you want a roster, you can go be single." She apologized, said it was just a joke, and things went back to normal. Or so I thought. She has been staying at my place almost every night for the last 4 months. However, and this is the detail that saves my life later, she never officially moved in. She refused to change her driver's license or her car registration to my address. Why? Because my address is in a county with high insurance premiums. Her parents live 40 minutes away in a rural county where rates are dirt cheap. She kept her legal residence there to save about $80 a month. I told her it was technically insurance fraud, but she laughed it off. "It's just a loophole, Mark. Don't be a boomer." That loophole is the reason I'm not currently being arrested for illegal eviction. Last week, the Miami trip came up. Tiffany and Jess planned a week-long bender in South Beach. I didn't love it, but I'm not a warden. I trust until I have a reason not to. Then came the conversation that ended us. It was Tuesday evening. I was grilling steaks on the patio. Qley walked out, holding a glass of wine, looking nervous but excited. "Babe," she said, leaning against the railing. "So the girls and I have a rule for this trip. It's a single girl summer vibe." I flipped a steak. "Okay, what does that mean?" "We want to feel completely unattached," she said, gaining confidence. "Just for the week, to recharge our independence. So, I don't want you to text me, and I won't text you. No checking in, no goodnight calls. I just need to feel single for a few days." I set the tongs down. I looked at her. "You need to feel single?" "Yeah," she smiled, like it was a fun little game. "Just to miss you more. It's healthy to have space. I just want to dance and have fun without worrying about my phone." I looked at her, really looked at her. I saw a 26-year-old woman who wanted the security of my wallet and my home, but the freedom of a college freshman. My brain connected the dots instantly. Miami, party capital. Toxic single friends, enablers. No contact rule. Hiding evidence. Feels single, hall pass. She was asking to cheat. Maybe not physically, though likely, but definitely emotionally. She wanted to flirt, get free drinks, and act single without the guilt of seeing Mark boyfriend pop up on her screen. In the past, I might have argued. I might have explained respect, but I'm 42. I don't negotiate my dignity. I don't beg women to act like partners. "Okay," I said. My voice was calm, the calmness of a judge delivering a sentence. "You want to be single for the week. I understand." She clapped her hands. Thank you. You're the best. Tiffany said you'd be insecure about it, but I told her you were cool." "I am very cool," I said. "Go have fun." She left Thursday morning at 5 a.m. She kissed me on the cheek. "See you next Thursday. Remember, don't text me." "I won't," I promised. "You got it." As soon as her Uber disappeared down the driveway, I went to work. I didn't go to the office. I called my operations manager and told him I was taking a personal day. Then I went to the garage and got the heavy-duty moving boxes. I went into the bedroom and started the purge. I didn't throw her stuff. I didn't burn it. I am not a child. I am a logistics professional. I packed her clothes neatly. I bubble-wrapped her perfumes. I boxed up her shoes. I cleared the bathroom counter of her 50 different skincare products. It took 7 hours. By 2 p.m., my house looked like she had never existed. The only thing left was the faint smell of her vanilla body spray, which I scrubbed out with ozone spray. I loaded the 15 boxes into the bed of my pickup truck. I strapped them down, then I drove to her parents' house. I know her parents, Linda and Bob. Good people. Blue collar, honest. They have no idea their daughter is a narcissist in training. I pulled into their driveway. Bob was in the garage working on a lawnmower. "Hey, Mark." He waved. "Kayla's in Miami, right?" "She is," I said, getting out of the truck. "Bob, I need a hand. I've got Kayla's things." Bob wiped his grease-stained hands on a rag, looking confused. "Her things? Like dry cleaning?" "Everything," I said. "We're done. She told me she wanted to be single for her trip. I decided to make it permanent. Since her legal address is here with you, I'm returning her property to her residence." Bob stopped wiping his hands. He looked at the truck, then at me. He didn't ask why or what happened. He just sighed, a long, heavy sigh of a man who knows his daughter is difficult. "All right," Bob said. "Let's put him in the garage." We unloaded in silence. Linda came out halfway through, looking horrified. "Mark, what is this? Did you two fight?" "No fight, Linda," I said, stacking a box labeled shoes. "She set the terms. I accepted them. I wish her the best, but she doesn't live with me anymore." "But she was going to move in officially next month," Linda cried. "Well," I said, "now she doesn't have to pack." I finished unloading. I shook Bob's hand. I got in my truck and drove away. On the way home, I called a locksmith. He met me at the house at 4:30 p.m. $300 later, every external door was rekeyed. I also reset the garage code and wiped her user profile from the alarm system. Then I did the digital cleaning. I removed her from my Netflix. I removed her from the authorized user list on the credit card I let her use for groceries. I checked the balance. She hadn't used it for the trip yet, thankfully. I removed her car from my EasyPass account. Then I sat down with a glass of bourbon and opened Instagram. I have a burner account. I don't use it to stalk. I use it to check on business competitors, but I followed her public profile. The stories were already live. Kayla, Tiffany, and Jess at the airport bar at 10 a.m. taking shots. Caption: Single squad takes Miami. Video at the hotel, twerking in bikinis. Video at the club that night, Kayla dancing on a table while a guy poured Grey Goose directly into her mouth. She was feeling single, all right? I didn't feel jealous. I didn't feel hurt. I felt clean. Like I had just removed a tumor before it turned malignant. She texted me once on Saturday, a drunk text at 2 a.m. "Hey, having so much fun. Miss you. Don't reply though, lol." I didn't reply. I stuck to the agreement. She came back this morning, 3 a.m. on a Thursday. I was awake. I knew her flight landed at 1:30 a.m. I was sitting in my living room, lights off, watching the security feed on my iPad. Her Uber pulled up. She stumbled out, looking sunburnt, exhausted, and hungover. She dragged her suitcase up the walkway. She put her key in the lock. It didn't turn. She jiggled it, frowned, tried again. She leaned back, checking the house number. Then she tried the garage keypad. Beep, beep, error. The red light flashed. She started banging on the door. "Mark? Mark, wake up. The door's jammed." She rang the doorbell. I had disconnected the chime so it was silent inside, but she could hear it buzzing outside. Then she saw the envelope. I had taped it to the door at eye level with blue painter's tape. She ripped it open. Inside was a single typed page. "Kayla, you told me you needed to feel single for the week. You wanted no contact. You wanted to act unattached. I thought you should get used to the feeling. You are single now, permanently. You do not live here. You are not on the deed. You are not on a lease. You are a guest who has overstayed. Your belongings have been returned to your legal residence at your parents' house. Do not knock again. Do not try to enter. If you do, I will call the police for trespassing. Enjoy your independence." Mark, she read it. I watched her face on the high-def camera. Confusion, then shock, then rage. "Mark," she screamed, pounding the door with her fist. "Open this door. This isn't funny." She pulled out her phone. She called me. I watched my phone light up on the coffee table, silent mode. She called again and again. Then she did exactly what I expected. She called the police. I waited. About 15 minutes later, a cruiser rolled up. I walked to the front door, opened it, and stepped out onto the porch, closing the locked door behind me. 2 officers. Kayla was crying, pointing at me. "He kicked me out. He locked me out of my own house. That's illegal. The older officer walked up. Sir, is this true? You can't just lock a tenant out. Officer, I said calmly, she is not a tenant, she is a guest. I live here, Qley shrieked. I've lived here for 4 months. My stuff is here. Actually, I said, pulling a file folder out from behind my back. I came prepared. Her stuff is at her legal residence in county name, 40 minutes away. I handed the officer the file. Inside was a photo of her driver's license showing her parents' address. A printout of the county tax assessor's page showing her parents own that home. A screenshot of a text from 2 months ago where she said, I can't change my address to yours. The car insurance quote was double. I'm keeping it at my parents'. Officer, I said. She explicitly refused to establish residency here to avoid paying higher insurance rates. She claims her parents' house is her primary residence for legal and insurance purposes. If she claims she lives here now, she is admitting to insurance fraud. So does she live here or there? The officer looked at the papers. He looked at Qley. Ma'am, is this your license? Yes, but, and is your car registered at that address? Yes, but I sleep here. Ma'am, the officer said, his voice dropping an octave. You can't have it both ways. If you legally reside there, you are a guest here. The homeowner has revoked your guest privileges. And since he has already returned your property to your legal address, this isn't an illegal eviction. It's a breakup. Qley turned pale. But I have nowhere to go tonight. I can't drive to my parents'. I've been drinking. I can call you a taxi, the officer offered. But you can't stay here if the homeowner wants you gone. She looked at me. Her eyes were black with hate. You planned this. You set me up. You set yourself up, I said. You wanted to be single in Miami. Now you're single in my city. Be careful what you manifest. She screamed an obscenity at me, threw her phone into her open suitcase, and eventually got in the taxi the officer called. I went back inside, locked the deadbolt, and slept like a baby. Update 1. The fallout has been nuclear. I woke up today to 53 missed calls. Qley, her mom, Tiffany, Jess, and her brother Kyle. I ignored them all and went to the gym. When I got home, Kyle was in my driveway. Kyle is 24, works at a supplement store, and thinks he's an alpha male because he lifts heavy. He doesn't know anything about the real world. He got out of his lifted truck. You piece of trash, he yelled, walking toward me. You can't treat my sister like that. I stayed in my truck. I rolled the window down 2 inches. Kyle, you are trespassing. You have 5 seconds to get in your vehicle and leave, or I am sending the dashcam footage to the sheriff. She has rights, he shouted, slapping my hood. Squatters' rights. We talked to a lawyer. Did you tell the lawyer about the insurance fraud? I asked calmly. Did you tell him that she's been defrauding the state for years by lying about her garaging address? Because if she sues me for illegal eviction, I will countersue for fraud reporting. I have the texts, Kyle. She admitted it in writing. Kyle froze. He's dumb, but he knows fraud is a bad word. You wouldn't. Try me. I have nothing to lose. She has a criminal record to gain. He stared at me, face red. Then he spit on the ground, got in his truck, and peeled out. Then came the text from Qley, a novel. Mark, please. You're overreacting. The single thing was just a joke. It was just a phrase. I didn't cheat. I danced. That's it. I love you. I was just trying to fit in with the girls. Please let me come home. My parents are making me sleep on the couch. This is insane. You're being so mean and cold. This isn't the man I fell in love with. I replied with a screenshot. It was the screenshot from her Instagram story, the one with the guy pouring vodka into her mouth while she gripped his hair. I added a caption. This isn't the woman I fell in love with either. This is a single woman, and now she has the single life she wanted. Do not contact me again. She blocked me, then unblocked me 10 minutes later to send, You were stalking my stories? You said you wouldn't check on me. You broke the trust first. The audacity is truly breathtaking. I blocked her number. Update 2, it's been 3 days. The legal threat arrived, and it was pathetic. I got an email from a lawyer. It looked like a template he downloaded from LegalZoom. It demanded immediate reinstatement of tenancy and compensation for emotional distress, $10,000. I forwarded it to my lawyer, Ron. Ron is a shark. He charges $450 an hour and eats guys like this for lunch. Ron drafted a response in about 20 minutes. It laid out the facts. No lease. No rent payments. She never paid a dime. Primary residence maintained elsewhere. Attached the tax docs and license photo. The guest statute in our state. Then Ron added the kill shot. If your client persists in this frivolous claim, Mr. My Name will be forced to file a report with the State Department of Insurance regarding your client's admitted garaging fraud. We will also seek legal fees for any defense against this baseless action. Govern yourself accordingly. We haven't heard back. Total radio silence. Ron says the lawyer probably dropped her the second he realized she was dragging him into a fraud case. But since the legal route failed, she went to the court of public opinion. She posted at TikTok. Of course she did. Title: My narcissist ex kicked me out for going on a girls' trip. She's crying. No tears, just noise in her childhood bedroom. She claims I was controlling, that I wouldn't let her have friends, that I stalked her, and that I threw her on the street in the middle of the night for no reason. She conveniently left out the "I need to feel single" conversation and the Miami club videos. It started getting traction. People were commenting, sue him, and men are trash. I didn't engage. I don't argue with teenagers on TikTok, but my buddy Dave did. Dave is a contractor, has zero filter, and hates liars. He found the video and commented, "Wait, aren't you the girl who told him you wanted to be single for a week so you could hook up with guys in Miami? Pretty sure I saw the pics of you grinding on that dude at E11 even. He just gave you what you asked for. Also, nice fake crying." He also linked a stitched video where someone had screen recorded her Miami stories before they expired. The tide turned instantly. The comments shifted to "receipts," and "you belong to the streets," and "fafo." She deleted the video 2 hours later. She also went private on Instagram. Then came the final attempt. The "I left something important" gambit. She emailed me since she's blocked on text. "I left my grandmother's necklace in the nightstand. It wasn't in the boxes. You stole it. I need to come get it." I walked to the nightstand. Empty. I checked my packing video. I didn't mention this earlier, but I wore a GoPro while I packed. Why? Because I watched Law & Order. I wanted proof I didn't steal or break anything. I scrubbed through the footage. There it was. Me opening the nightstand drawer, taking out the jewelry box, opening it to show the necklace was inside, closing it, wrapping it in bubble wrap, and placing it in box number 4. I replied to her email. "The necklace is in box number 4 labeled Jewelry Misc. I have video footage of myself packing it. If you accuse me of theft again, I will file a defamation suit. If you come to the property, you will be arrested for trespassing." She never replied. Final update: it's been 2 weeks. The silence is magnificent. Kayla has finally given up. According to a mutual friend, who I am about to cut off because I don't want updates, reality has hit her hard. She is stuck at her parents' house. She has no car. The BMW she drove was a lease in my name that I let her use. I returned it to the dealership the day after I kicked her out and paid the early termination fee. It was worth every penny. She has no sugar daddy funding her life. She's back to working full-time at the dental office, and apparently she's miserable. The Miami trip put her in debt because she put it on a credit card expecting me to pay it off when she got back. That bill is due next week. Good luck with that. I ran into Bob, her dad, at the hardware store yesterday. It was awkward. I almost walked away, but Bob is a decent man. He looked tired. Aged 10 years. "Mark," he nodded. "Bob." He paused, looking at a display of hammers. "She's driving us crazy," he muttered, voice low. "Won't stop crying, blaming you, blaming us, says we ruined her life. She needs to grow up, Bob," I said. "I know," he sighed. She's a lot. I think you made the right call, Mark. I really do. I just wish she wasn't my problem again." He gave me a grim smile and walked away. That hit me. Her own father knows. He knows she's a disaster, and he knows I was the dam holding back the flood of her chaos. I'm moving on. I've already repainted the bedroom, switched from her beige to a nice slate blue. I bought new sheets. I went on a date last night. A woman my age, 39. She's a lawyer. She has her own house. She opened her own car door. We had drinks. She asked about my last relationship. I smiled. She asked for a hall pass to be single for a week, so I gave her a lifetime pass. She laughed, a real deep, intelligent laugh. Smart man. Boundaries are beautiful. Yes, they are. To the guys reading this, when a woman tells you she needs to feel single, believe her. Don't wait for the cheating evidence. The request is the evidence. Don't negotiate. Don't beg. Pack the bags. Change the locks. Protect your peace. The streets are calling, gentlemen. Let her belong to them. I'm going fishing this weekend on my boat. Just me, the ocean, and the sound of silence. And it's gonna be fantastic.